The Do This podcast is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network. In this episode, Nick Waldner joins Bob Stewart and Chad Hyams in an insightful discussion about thriving in a challenging real estate market. Nick is a prominent real estate professional known for leading one of the top-performing Keller Williams teams in the Maryland and D.C. area, and Nick's team is on track to sell approximately 450 homes this year. Nick emphasizes the value of repeat and referral business as a consistent source of real estate leads, despite the challenging market conditions. He also underscores the importance of building a system around collecting reviews and maintaining a high standard of customer service. We hope you enjoy this episode of the Do This podcast presented by Brivity.
All right, guys, I'm Nick Waldner. I'm here with Bob Stewart and Chad. We are getting started on this. This is the first time I'm hosting and they're listening. No, I'm just kidding. You guys.
This is amazing, Chad. This is amazing. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. We're out of here, Nick.
You go, Nick. Take it.
You got this. You've done this before. I can tell.
Once or twice.
All right. For the one person in the room who might not be aware of who you are, or for the other one that's surprised that you don't have many pastels on today,
I apologize.
Do me a favor, introduce yourself to the audience, make sure everybody knows who we're chatting with today as we talk about what they're going to go do in their business.
All right, guys, my name is Nick Waldner. I work on the East Coast away from all these guys in Maryland. You have any referrals, you send them to me. Anything in Maryland. I'm a lonely real estate agent. Sell a couple of houses a year with my team and, just trying to get things done one day at a time.
Trying to get things done.
Modest. He's also modest, right? Look, Nick, I'm on the East Coast now.
Oh, nice.
Again, I'm from the East Coast. I'm a New York, Toronto guy who's now back in Florida.
Okay.
The only thing the West Coast has on the East Coast, time of day for sporting events.
Yes.
There's nothing better than waking up to 10 a.m. football and being able to stay up till the end of the last game and not, being 2 a.m. and all that stuff. It's the only thing the West Coast has on the East Coast.
I'll give it. I'll take it. I agree with that.
All right. So, Nick, you undersold yourself a little bit. He's just a lonely little real estate agent out there. He's not that lonely. He's got a team that's a bunch of trained assassins. You guys, I don't know. Look, 350, 400, 450. It's a whole bunch of houses you guys sell. And
yeah, we've been the number one KW team in Maryland and DC for the last probably 7 years straight. We'll sell probably 450 homes this year. Our claim to fame right now is this month we closed an $8.75 million house, our biggest house ever. So for those of you who are like, oh, that's great. In California, that's like a shack. In Maryland, our average sales price is like $450,000. So 8.75 in Maryland. All right, now we're moving some houses.
Wow.
Okay, Nick, how big is the team? How many staff versus virtual versus agents?
Yep. So we have 23 agents spread out across Maryland. That's why I say if you're sending anybody to Maryland, we've got you covered. That includes, besides those 23, we have 6 staff that run everything on our back office. We've got 2 virtual assistants, and we've got 2 runners who run all the signs and lock boxes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Where does the business come from? Can we just let's just get right into it. What have been some of your good sources this last year? Because this is one of the hardest years in real estate, Nick.
Yeah.
Right? Like you guys found somebody that was going to sell their $8 million house, but fewer people are selling their house in the last year than having 30 years. So where is your guys' business coming from?
Yeah, so here's the secret that nobody tells you. Any real estate conference you go to, any event you go to, anybody who stands up on a podcast or a stage and they talk about their one area they get business, and it could be, from this really cool YouTube thing or this really great social media thing or whatever it is, make sure you understand that the number one source of all of their business is referral and repeat. That doesn't change. When you get to the 400, 500, 600 homes a year, your number one source is always going to be referral and repeat, and we're no different. So when you hear somebody that has an amazing expired plan and they get all this business from expired, it might only be 10% of their business because 60 or 70% is always referral and repeat. So now that we've gotten that out of the way and you understand referral and repeat is just like for us, that's your number one source of business. We've got some other really cool sources. One is our Google reviews. So right now we're sitting at 2,150 Google reviews or somewhere right around there. And 35% of our listings this year have come from people who said, saw your reviews, you crush everybody else. Are you still taking clients? Will you list my house? 35% of our listings. That has been the biggest number by far in a long time for us.
You do one of those things where once you see it, you're like, duh. Like, it's so obvious. Everybody should be doing this. Why do you have 2,150 Google reviews?
It's the same thing that I realized one day when I was traveling. I was probably going to a real estate event. I was in some random city and I was like, hey, let's go to dinner. Even last weekend, I was in Indianapolis. I want to go to dinner. So what do you think we did? We went to Google and put in restaurants near me. And did I go to a single restaurant? Did I even click on a restaurant that had 3.0 stars? No, there's not a shot. In fact, I was like 4.8, 4.9, 4.7. And then I would look at the total. This one that had 5.0, but only 2 reviews. And this one had 4.7 with 2,100 reviews. All right, let's go to that restaurant. It's proven. I don't know any of these people. I don't know who left the reviews. I don't know if they're crazy people or not. All I know is 2,100 people went there and they liked it. They gave it a 4.7 on average.
I like to go. The crazy people are the ones that leave 1-star reviews. Like those. I gotta read those sometimes to find the crazy people.
Okay, but there are crazy people, and a lot of people, Nick, freak out about getting Google reviews because they're not going to get a 5-star. Right. Yeah. First of all, and I'm so glad you said that when you were looking for the restaurant, you also look and say, okay, there's only 3 people. That means the chef's mom, wife, and a friend reviewed it for him and of course gave 5 stars. I don't believe anything on Amazon or Google that has a 5-star review. Yep. So your stuff, 2,150 reviews. What's your rating?
Yeah, so we are 5 and we're 5, but we still have a few because really our rating is like 4.917, whatever. But
and what do you do when you get the crappy ones? Because that's what everyone out there is panicking. Do you respond? Do you argue with them? Or do you just say, hey, everyone's allowed their opinion, and if everybody loved us, it would be fake?
No, I actually love the 1-star reviews because we're able to respond without creating conversation. Like if I create conversation, we're going to go back and forth and it's going to get ugly. But you leave a review, I get to leave a response, and that's where it dies. So like we'll get a 1-star review, like don't use this company. My wife and I tried to buy a house and they, screwed everything up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I am so sorry you feel this way. I know how frustrating in this market it can be when buying a home. Now, just to make sure you understand, in this certain transaction, we represented the seller and not you as the buyer. Now, while our marketing brought in 28 appointments, and then we got 12 offers, and we sold for $186,000 more than listing price. And unfortunately, your offer just wasn't strong enough to compete. Our sellers are thrilled, but I will tell you personally, I'm upset that you did not get this house. I'm so sorry it didn't work out for you. I'm apologizing that we weren't representing you. We represented the seller in the transaction, but I wish you the best on your house search.
And that's it. And if somebody really was looking at that, Nick, you look like a totally upstanding human.
Right. Exactly. I had another one that was an actual client and they left a review 4 years later and was like, they sold us a lemon, basically. And I responded back and I said, Debbie, I'm really sorry that you're going through what you're going through right now. I can remember when we were buying the house and the home inspection came back with so many things. I know that in the moment of excitement, sometimes our emotions tell us, we can do all these things, we can do all these projects. I have to believe that 4 years later, you're probably overwhelmed, still doing projects in a 150-year-old house. Listen, we are here for you. If you need contractors, if you need this, you can always call. I know I spoke with your husband 2 days ago, and we're going to be helping your cousin buy. And we really appreciate you calling us and giving us that referral. But I can tell in this moment, you're upset about your house and what's going on with all the repairs needed. Give me a call. Let me help you through some of those repairs.
Yeah,
Okay, so folks, and Nick, you do that really well. If you're like me, folks, where you might want to get confrontational, and Nick might, right? Use ChatGPT to write the response.
Yeah.
Right. That's where you take their comment, put it in, share your thoughts, and let ChatGPT write it so it doesn't come out sounding like, what? Debbie, annoying, right? Whatever that is. But that's
Nick,
the answer. Thank you, Nick.
What's the simple hack though to get 2,400? Because 2,400 people aren't searching out Nick and trying to figure out how to leave you a review, and you've made it really, really easy for people.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are really looking at this, I would Google my name, Nick Waldner, and Google reviews, and you'll pop up a plethora of different things that I've done and put online and trainings and stuff I've done with Brivity and with Place. You'll have lots of information on that. But the bottom line is you got to make a system around it. Every single transaction, every single client, everything you do should be built around getting that 5-star review. And everything we talk about, everything we do with our clients is, everything I'm going to do for you, Chad, is to make sure I'm earning that 5-star level service. We promise 5-level service, and we are going to follow through to make sure by the end of this transaction, you feel so good about us that not only are you going to leave us a 5-star review on Google, you're also going to recommend us to your family and friends. Is that fair that that's my goal for this transaction? Absolutely. And then I take you through the entire process. I constantly remind you about it. And if any time you're like, Nick, you suck, I would never leave you a 5-star review. Guess what I won't do? Ask for one. I'll just skip you when it comes time to asking. But 99% of everybody else expected me to do it. They expected great service. Even when our service fell, even when there was a mistake, when someone sees all the other 5-star reviews, they go, you know what? There was some hiccups and we had some problems, but overall, they did a really good job. I'll leave them the 5-star review. So guys, don't think that we're perfect or you have to be perfect. Just understand that you've got to be on it. And when there's a problem, you got to be stepping right in and fixing it.
Are you sending them an email at the end? Are you at the closing table with them literally saying,
they're getting text messages, emails, phone calls, requests? Like, we don't stop. Every time we invite them to a client appreciation event, we have a note whether they've left us a review or not. Hey, we'd love you to come to this event. By the way, if you have a second, can you do this? I know you got busy with moving. Always, always, always on them about it.
Okay, so you guys have them.
Yep.
Talk about your Google local service for a second, because I know that's been a big part of your business. It's something you guys have been able to introduce because you've built up this kind of pile of reviews. Just talk about that program for just a minute.
Yeah, Google Local Service is really easy. Basically what happens is, back in the day, I have a leak under my sink. Oh man, I got to get a plumber. So I go on Google and I say, I need a plumber. And what happened? Well, back in the day, it would give me like 9 companies in New York. And I would call any one of them and they would be like, oh, you're in Soxville, Maryland. And I'm like, okay, this person has no idea where I am. They're like, we're going to find you a plumber. And then they would call a plumber and try to set up an appointment. And it was a miserable experience for the consumer. So as a consumer, I'm like, Google sucks at finding me a plumber. Well, Google realized it and they're like, all right, forget Angie's List, forget any of these companies. If somebody wants a plumber, what do they want? They want a local plumber who's going to answer the phone, who's going to say, yeah, I'm actually 3 miles away finishing up a job on, Main Street. I can be there in 20 minutes. Awesome. Let's go. That's what I want when I'm looking for a plumber. Well, then what about electrician? What about roofers? What about blah, 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 blah? I want local service people who answer their phone and can come out and meet me within 24 hours or so. They want the same with a real estate agent. So now Google Local Services was born to get rid of all the middlemen of New York that would set up these websites, pay all this money, grab all the search, and then go charge the local plumbers 20%. So Google got rid of all of that. And now you have to have a local address. You have to be, then the reviews come in, and all that is part of helping the consumer find the local person who can actually come help them with their house.
Are these, so I mean, you guys get these leads. Are they good? Like Nick,
Bob, did you just ask if an internet lead was good?
well, look,
Bob Stewart asked that. Someone marked that day down.
I did, but there's a funnel, right? Like we get leads from anywhere. Leads are not hard to come by, but these leads to me and what I'm, the teams I work with that work them, they seem just a little bit better. Not a lot better, Nick. I still got to know what to say.
They're not a little bit better. They are leaps and bounds
there we
better.
Go. Okay.
Like my ISA will drop everything for a Google call. And I'm not even kidding. Like I can pull up my phone and I can tell you the messages that come across. Hey, Nick, we're a first-time home buyer. We're looking in this area. We've already been pre-approved. We did our research. We want to work with your team. Are you taking clients right now? Are you taking clients? You got to be kidding me. I can't think of a better lead. Hey, Nick, we decided we want to sell our house. Do you work in Eldersburg? We absolutely do. Hey, Nick, I've read all your reviews and we want to meet with you. Like that's the type of people that are reaching out.
I love the "are you taking clients?" That's
it's the greatest.
I don't know if they must be brainwashed because doctors don't always take new patients or dentists and think a real estate agent's going to say, "No, I've got way too much right now. Thanks. Have a nice day." Yeah.
Yeah. And I say that because we get it multiple times a month. Multiple times somebody will say, "Are you still taking clients? Would you take me on as a client?"
And folks, if you're not reading in the chat and you're just paying attention because Nick is enthralling to watch and listen to, David Wiggs was just sharing, right? Brivity Leads can set up your Google local services for you. So don't sit there and go bang your head into the wall and say, how do I do all this? They can take care of it right there in Brivity for you.
Yep.
Real quick, I'll drop for people the if you guys are interested in talking to our team, because here's the reality of Google local service. I'll just put it out there. Not everybody can do it because you do need to have some compository of reviews built up in order for Google to do this with you. And
compository?
I don't know. Is that a word?
You been studying a thesaurus? I can't even say the word. You're using words that wow.
ChatGPT teaches him a new word every day.
No, here's a secret.
I need glasses so that I can keep up with this group.
Here's a secret. I try to use one word every time I get in front of an audience where I'm only 50% sure I actually used it properly. That was the word today.
Most of the time he's making up the word altogether.
Yeah, 25% of the time I'm not sure it's a word.
You need a certain number of reviews to qualify, and you need to answer the phone. Yep. Because I know that's something they will test you and check you on, because if you're not, they're not going to give you that top spot where you're getting those calls.
Doug, do me a favor. The link I just put in there, you guys can go talk to our team. Our team can do some analysis to tell you in your market, do you have enough reviews for your Google local service ads to kind of get traction? And then if you don't, Doug, you'll have a target where you can go use Nick's strategy to get my reviews up to 50 or 75 or 100 or whatever it is that you need in your market. But our team can look at that for you. I put the link in there, Doug. You request a demo with that team and they can tell you what you need to do.
And it doesn't matter where you are now, Doug. It matters that you start right now. Like 5 years ago, we had 107. And then at the end of that year, we had 300. And the end of that year, we had 900. At the end of that year, we had 1,200. And then they like boom, 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 boom. And now people are like, oh, 2,150. I could never get there. Well, I had 5 years to get there. I started 5 years ago. When's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. But if you didn't do it, plant it right now.
Yep.
That's it.
Folks, throw it in the chat for us. A few of you already have. How many reviews do you currently have? Even if the number is 0, let's just see.
Carrie's at 1,000, so she should absolutely be using this. Doug's got 0. That's okay, Doug. Got to start somewhere.
There you go. Absolutely.
Nick, can we shift gears? Let's go away from like where you guys are finding business. Actually, I don't want to shift gears. And this is not on this is
why Bob leads this one, but I'll take care of the podcast. He's zigzag. We don't know.
This wasn't on the roadmap. This wasn't on the pre-prep notes, but you said something and I want to ask about it. You said 65% or 60%, 70% of the business comes from referrals, past clients, Sphere. How do you, because here, like in my head, I think, okay, I got them. They're out there. I hope somebody sends them to me, but I don't necessarily have a lot of control over when they show up. And so for somebody that runs a big team, you guys are doing 450 transactions a year. How do you make sure those show up? What are you guys doing with your Sphere past client? How are you generating referrals?
I share this with a lot of new agents as well. And sometimes as veteran agents, we need to hear it as well. There is never a moment where you pick up the phone and call somebody and they go, Bob, I wasn't expecting your call. I had no plans to sell my house, but damn it, if you didn't call and now you convince me, I'm going to sell my house. It doesn't happen that way. But however, if I stay in contact with you over time and I'm constantly touching you and I'm constantly reaching out and we're constantly inviting you to different events or parties or whatever, one time I'm going to call you and you're going to say, Nick, I appreciate you calling. Listen, my mom is, she's getting older and we're thinking about moving her to blah, blah, blah. And we're going to have a house for sale. Or Nick, I'm so glad you called. I got this new job. We're pumped. I think it's time for a bigger house. Like, let's go to the next house. Hey, Nick, the kids are off to college and we've been in this house for a year and a half and it's really way too big and we don't need to maintain this anymore. We were thinking, hey, Nick, I just got married and my wife and I are looking for blah, 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 blah. That's what happens. Life happens and it can happen anywhere at any time. And I need to be in relationship all the time. So it's very clear if I have my database, let's call it 325 people. If I call 5 people a day, 5 days a week for an entire quarter, it's 325 people. And then the next month, I'm calling, I'm texting, I'm going on their social and making comments, and I'm watching your son dribble his basketball, or I'm watching you make those disgusting strawberries that you chop all up and you put in the oven, and I'm like, Bob, do those strawberries really taste like licorice? And he's like, no, it's a complete waste of time. It took hours to do. And I laughed.
A complete waste of time. I did that.
Yeah, and I laughed because I never had to do it, but like Bob and I bonded like that. So I owned a piece of his brain, a market share in his brain for probably 7 to 10 seconds while he responded, no, these strawberry things were a waste of time. And if I do that consistently enough, anytime Bob thinks of Maryland, he thinks of me. Anytime. And I'm not waiting. I'm not calling him saying, Bob, you got anybody in Maryland yet? You got anybody in Maryland yet? Hey, what do you have in Maryland? I'm just staying in contact with him. So when Maryland pops up, he's like, what's that pastel guy? Oh, yeah, Nick. I just talked to him the other day. Boom. And then that's how I get that referral or that repeat business. So it's really just consistency over time.
Man.
Mind share. It's what it all comes down to. You got to have mind share, folks. If you don't have mind share, you are missing the number one lead generation source in this industry.
There's like this common thread that just runs through the entire industry, and it's consistency. And it really doesn't matter what you do as long as you do it consistently.
Yeah, exactly. But we're like, but what video do I post on social that I get 400,000 likes and 9 people want to sell their house? You don't. But if you post all the time and you stay consistent, people see your stuff over and over and over again. Did you know the average consumer who doesn't know you needs to consume 7 hours of your content before they know you and trust you to call you? 7 hours. So we think that our 30-second reel is going to create that business for us. It's not. Maybe if we're doing some long form stuff on YouTube and they see our reel and then they go over and watch some YouTube stuff, maybe. But otherwise, if they're a stranger and they're seeing your reel over and over and over and over again, it takes that long before they're like, all right, I think I understand, or I know this person. Now I'm ready to call them. Now I'm ready to reach out.
I think I'm susceptible to being scammed. It doesn't take me 7 hours to like start to trust somebody. I'm a little bit less than that, but there's
You're
somebody
a
else out there.
salesperson. Salespeople are easy to sell. Me too.
You are absolutely right hitting that, Nick. And you're absolutely right with, if everyone looks at their business, they're going to find that probably 2/3 of their business does come from their referrals and repeat business that's in there. Folks, a term I want to get rid of in this industry is past clients. You don't have past clients. They're always clients. They might just take years before they purchase again. Yet unless they literally have past Don't call them past clients, because that changes your mindset on how you treat them. I guarantee you, Nick is not treating people that he sold a house to 3 years ago like some past client any different than he's treating the clients that he has now, because he's staying top of mind. He's giving that opportunity. He's creating that mind share, providing value to them at any given moment, even if they're not buying right now.
We need a better name for it though. Forever clients is one I've heard try to people get traction around. It's not kitschy enough, right? Like
clients. They're just clients, Bob.
Okay, just clients. Nick, what do you think about that?
Call it what you want. I don't care what you call them. I care how you treat them.
Nick said, call them what you want, but call them. Call them once a quarter.
Exactly.
Call them once a quarter. Nick, what do you got 23 agents? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 23 agents.
Is it because you're so good looking and incredibly well dressed that they just show up at the door and try to join the team? Or like where do you find people to partner with in your business?
Yeah, it takes me just as much work as anybody. You know, you think you run a great team, you think you have a huge business, you are a blip on the radar for most people. Like if we sell 450 homes, we're like 0.01% of the transactions in the state of Maryland. So for every person who knows us, there's another 100,000 people who don't know us. So just understand that whatever your ego is telling you, you're not that big. You're not that important, which means I need to introduce them to our team, to our culture, to our business, to our ideas, to our tech, to our platform, to our systems. I've got to bring them in and show them everything we do. And it's almost like the 7-hour rule. And over time, they get to know us, get to understand us, and feel the trust to move forward with us. So we bring them in, like we start top of funnel is a lot of education. We offer a lot of education, a lot of classes, a lot of masterminds. We invite people to it all the time. We have Zoom trainings, we have in person. We do all these things with all brokerages, all walks of life, bring them all together. And over time, then we start inviting them to some of our personal trainings. Then we ask them if they want to come in and, you know, see how a day in the life of our business works. And they come in, they sit through a team meeting, or they're part of our 12-week year presentation, whatever it is. We are slowly introducing them to who we are so that one, they can get to know us and feel like, man, I feel like I could succeed here. Or they get to know us and go, these people are insane. I don't want to work like this. This is not for me. Either one, I want them to self-discover that. I want them to know, wow, if I'm surrounded by these people, I can sell more, or they work way too hard and I don't want to be anywhere near this. I got into real estate so I could sell 4 homes a year and just call myself a real estate agent and just lay around and do nothing. They're not going to like our culture at all. And then the ones that are like, man, how much can I sell? What can I do? How big can I grow? They come, their mind is blown. They see some of our top agents and they're like, man, I want to be that girl. I want to be that guy in 5 years. How do I do that? Plug me in.
I love that. You've gotten to a place where you're just like exposing people to what you do, and then they're deciding whether they want to join you. You're not hard selling these people on joining the Waldner Winters team.
Nah, you hard sell them now and you're going to be letting them go soon. It doesn't work. People have to want, like if you're not learning based, and you don't want to show up and have accountability, and you don't want to improve as a person. Like we talk about health, we talk about wealth, we talk about selling real estate. Like it doesn't matter. We're looking at every part of our human experience. And if that's not attractive to you, you are not going to want to be around people who are like, hey, who got up at 5 a.m. and worked out? Not everybody on our team does, but a lot do. Hey, who drank 100 ounces of water today? Not everybody does, but a lot do. Who did this? Who did this? Who did this? And all of a sudden it's like we're taking communication classes. And communication, does that help me, be better in sales? Absolutely. Does it also help me be a better husband or a better father or have better relationships with my friends? Absolutely. So we look at this as a holistic approach. If I can be a better husband, I can be a better real estate agent. If I can be a better father, I can be a better real estate agent. If I have more energy for my kids at home, I have more energy for my business. So everything is inclusive, and that type of person is super attracted to us. And the person who's like, no, my work is separate, I want to unplug and go home, we're probably not the best fit.
All right, find me a place. I'm on my way.
Nice. I found place. I already there.
Hey, I don't it's rare that somebody comes to this call and meets the energy that we try to bring. You nailed it. Did you want to take us out? I mean, you brought us into the call today. Did you want to take us out?
Well, here's what I would tell you guys. It's 30 minutes that you just invested of your time. You just gave 30 minutes to the three of us to try to learn something, to try to improve, to try to be better. That's an investment of your time. I want you to take that type of attitude to everything you do. I want you to go into something and say, is this a good or bad investment of my time? You wouldn't put $100,000 in an investment account that was going to give you 101 3 years from now. You would want to put 100,000 in and get 130 or 140 or 150 back in 3 years, right? Your time should be the same thing. Don't go into anything and just think, well, I'm here. Let me just see how it goes. Go into something. What can I learn? What can I take away? How can I be improved in 30 minutes?
Ladies and gentlemen, my friend Nick Waldner. Nick, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us, man. That was amazing. And Chad and I didn't even have to start it. You kicked us off. You're the best. Thanks, buddy.
Glad you guys had me. Glad to be on, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. See you next week. Chad, see you.